You know how some Mondays start with coffee, a light existential dread, and maybe an ominous humming from the void. Well, my Monday started with an invoice. A multi-dimensional invoice. From Yog-Sothoth. Now, if you've never received an invoice from Yog-Sothoth, allow me to clarify. It doesn't arrive. It unfolds into your office like a sentient spreadsheet trying to sell you insurance. And Yog himself, he doesn't knock. He manifests. Directly through a tear in causality and your self-esteem.
Yeah. So hey, Cthulhu, big guy, just circling back on that performance coverage request. We've got a level 12 flute voidster down. Azzy's ensemble needs a sub in the next 15 minutes. Give or take a loop of entropy. If you could fix this major cosmic oopsie-daisy soon, that would be great.
15 minutes. 15 minutes to find a replacement flute player for Azathoth, the nuclear chaos at the center of all things. The dreaming idiot. The blind idiot god. The cosmic drum circle with teeth. Apparently, one of his eternally screaming flute players developed carpal tunnel syndrome, which, frankly, is hilarious because I assumed they had transcended tendons. But no, according to Yog-Sothoth's little sticky note from beyond.
Per interdimensional compliance code 309-B, flautist-related repetitive strain injuries are to be treated with immediate substitution or risk feedback loop collapse and the Azathothian rhythm.
You don't miss a beat with Azathoth, okay? If the flute stops, reality syncopates. Planets jitter like bad dubstep. Saturn moonwalks. And your internal organs start alphabetizing themselves by sound. So, naturally I did what any overqualified, under-croissanted cosmic administrator would do. I ran to Madeline's HR office.
Why? What the fuck? What the fuck?
And by ran, I mean teleported while emitting stress particles that melted 3 filing cabinets.
You know, there are doors. They open. On hinges. Do I want to know what?
It's Azathoth. One of his flute players got carpal tunnel.
I'm not sure what's worse, that fucking sentence, or the fact that I understand it.
Madeline exhaled through her teeth, yanking divine personnel files from the ether like she was dealing tarot to the apocalypse.
Okay. Start with wind gods. Wind, breath, flute adjacent, go.
Aeolus, I offered.
Too busy blowing cyclidic storm systems. Also, can't keep tempo.
Pan.
Sued by 3 pantheons for public indecency during rehearsal.
Apollo.
Harps, lyres, no breath support. I'm not having a solar deity pass out mid-solo.
Saraswati.
Veena, string discipline. Beautiful tone. But she plays like she's narrating the Vedas. Azathoth would fall asleep faster.
Okay, I said, snapping tentacles like drumsticks. What about Venti? Madeline looked up like she was hoping she'd misheard me. She hadn't.
You want to stabilize Azathoth's rhythm with a drunk anime twink from a gacha game?
He's the Archon of Wind, I said defensively. Breath support, technically flute adjacent. Very nimble.
He canonically busks for wine money.
Well, what about Farina then? She can control.
She's a theater kid with fake water powers and mental instability, Master Cthulhu.
Aren't we all? She just stared at me. I sighed. Okay, no Genshin gods.
Thank you.
But I am emailing Zhongli.
Master Cthulhu?
Okay, fine. What about Ocean?
Voice only. Elegant, but not flute. Next.
What about Tikistacatl, Aztec conch shell god?
Still stuck on the lunar rotation docket. Besides, conch isn't flute. That's brass section at best.
Hathor.
Voice and sistrum. Too rhythmic. We'll loop the void into 6/8 and end up in jazz samba territory.
Krishna, I said, a sliver of desperate hope in my voice. Madeline's eyes widened, as if a light bulb went off.
Flute.
She pontificated.
Yes, technically viable,
Technically divine, I added.
but technically dangerous.
She corrected.
He doesn't play the flute. He weaponizes it. Last time we summoned him, 3 interns fell in love with him.
Suddenly, reality lurched. Azathoth stirred. The multiverse hit. Next option.
The next option is I'm going to kill you with a tuning fork.
Yog-Sothoth phased halfway through her potted plant like an eldritch bill lumber, and just drawled.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to find a flute-compatible, harmony-adjacent vibrational node being with no temporal ego by, now.
Madeline snapped.
You're an eldritch god. Why don't you solve an eldritch problem? Or is that too much to ask between croissant binges and passive-aggressively narrating your emotional repression?
Yog, ever the passive-aggressive time janitor, chimed in without turning his phase-shifted head.
Yeah, and just a reminder, if as he wakes up, we don't just get one cataclysm, we get all of them, simultaneously. Time folds like a bad IKEA manual, past, present, future, pinched like a metaphysical hemorrhoid in every timeline.
I was about to respond with something scathing, when the door blew open with a sound like a pastry giving birth to thunder, and there stood Croissant-chan, founder, frontwoman, and sole prophet of a one-woman sonic apocalypse she had already named Bake Me Into Oblivion.
I can play for Azathoth,
She said. Croissant-chan, I said slowly. That's a metal guitar. Azathoth demands flute, wailing, cosmic dissonance, not.
What other choice do we have? Just let her play.
And just like that, we had a plan. Did it work? Well, the dreaming idiot is currently headbanging. Reality is slightly more coherent than usual. And somewhere in the recesses of the library, the walls are humming a Norwegian death pastry ballad in 7/8 time. So yes, the carpal tunneled flute god now has 6 weeks of cosmic workers' comp. The void is slightly more metal than usual. And I, Cthulhu, harbinger of unknowable truths, am adding HR emergency sound tech lead to my resume. And people wonder why I drink dimensionally fermented ink.